I'm Susan Tucker-Smith. I'm Assistant Director of Victim Witness Services at the Nashville District Attorney's Office. I have also been a victim of a home burglary and a robbery. It happened about 15 years ago, and I was actually at work on a Friday afternoon, 3:30 on a Friday afternoon, and I was renting a duplex in Green Hills at the time, and my landlord called me to let me know that my house had been broken into. But I knew right away what was going to be gone. I didn't have a lot of really fancy things or a lot of expensive technology or anything like that. What I did have was jewelry. So throughout my life, things had been passed down to me. For every special occasion, I received a piece of jewelry, and it wasn't that it was necessarily anything really fancy or very expensive, but it was so sentimental to me. I went to 28 pawn shops looking. I had made a list of over 300 items, very detailed. I knew my jewelry. I made a very detailed list, and I went to pawn shops, and I know they thought I was crazy. I walked into each pawn shop, and as I started to say, this is what's happened, and I would cry, and these are my items, and have you seen anything? And nothing was ever found. I hated everybody because I didn't know who it was. I didn't know, is it somebody that knew? Because everybody knew that I had jewelry. Had I been targeted? Had someone been watching me? Also, I worked at the DA's office, and do domestic violence cases. So, I thought, did somebody get mad at me, some defendant get mad at me when we were in court and follow me home? I didn't trust anybody. It's completely different when it happens to you because, again, I wasn't physically hurt, I wasn't there, but it took me years to get through the anger. Years to get through not only what had happened, but what I had lost. And it helped a little bit to talk about it. With Tennessee Voices for Victims, I would go do victim panels with them, and being able to talk about it was really helpful to me, just to get it out and to go speak to offenders, even though they weren't my offender, to be able to look people in the eye and say, these things that you have done or that you have committed, they really affect people. So I do think that people have to figure out what works for them, to find a right support group or counseling group or counselor or some outlet to deal with the feelings of what they've experienced. I definitely, again, me personally dealing with domestic violence victims, I tell them all the time, the counselors at the police department, this is what they're trained for. This is what they are specially trained for, to deal with not just the trauma, but to deal with all of the dynamics that go along. And so just go try it. It's free. Go try it. And if you hate it, then you don't have to go back, but just go one time. And maybe you don't click with that particular counselor. Guess what? There's so many more, and there's other organizations. So maybe that wasn't the right situation for you, but there are people out there that can help.